All right. Dude, Fallout 76 sucks a bag of dicks. Yeah, those two dudes are probably playing it, but I
Just
mean,
those two dudes.
I fucking it sounds like it, man. The game sounds so fucking irreparably bad. It I don't know, man. Maybe it's been patched. I doubt it though. But I
You
don't
know
know.
what I feel like? This is a strange uh, opinion though. I feel like there's so many games that have come out that Fallout. This is extreme opinion, by the way. Like in the other spectrum, like
Oh, here we go.
uh, watch out, Fallout fans. I feel like so many games have came out that Fallout took maybe a little too long to be made, and then it was like every other game was like better graphics or better engine or just better content because it was, you know, in the right time. Where Fallout just took a long time to get made, but it was a good game regardless. You know what I mean?
Are you talking about 76 or the whole Fallout franchise?
I can't remember which Fallout. Maybe like Fallout 2 or 1.
Well, I never played, so I don't think that you mean 2 or 1. I think that you probably mean Fallout 3, which was the first like open world RPG
Mm-hmm.
for the consoles, like fucking 3D high quality shit.
Yeah.
All the ones before that, Fallout 2 and Fallout Original,
Mm-hmm.
were like top down 2D. They looked like Diablo, sort of.
So there's 3 and then New Vegas, right?
Exactly. And New Vegas was made by a different company,
Yeah.
Obsidian. That's why it's so high quality.
Yeah, I think it's 3 that I was talking about. But I'm not an expert on Fallout. I barely know what I'm talking about when it comes to Fallout.
Yeah, why aren't you an expert,
I
Arman?
wish I played the game. Like I honestly do. It would have been my.
Man,
It would have been my
you,
favorite game.
you should play it today. Fallout New Vegas is where you should start, and then that's the only game you should play. uh, unfortunately, Fallout 3 doesn't work on Windows 10, and Bethesda is not inclined to patch it. And Fallout 4 sounds unplayable without a host of mods. And so one day I'll get around to playing Fallout 4, but I don't know when.
Mm.
As for 76, I have been following it pretty closely through Angry Joe and Young Yeah. Two plugs right there that I'm happy to plug. Angry Joe reviews. He does very good video game reviews, especially for games that do badly. Like, I don't need him to tell me that a game I love is a good game, but like when it comes to 76, where I already don't trust the developer because of the genre. When Bethesda says that they're going to make another first-person single-player RPG, I trust them to make a above-average quality content. However, when they say that they're going to do something in the multiplayer genre and the MMO genre, then I don't trust any developer really to make a good game in that genre.
Mm.
So I'm very skeptical. So I look for the reviews, and it's multifaceted. You know, on the one hand, you have the game itself, which is a buggy, glitchy mess, the epitome of low standard of production quality from Bethesda, which is saying a lot because they have actually really, really bad production standards. I mean, they release broken content all the time. They're famous for it. But then at the same time, on the other hand, you have the company itself, which is not only extraordinarily, extortionately greedy, where they're charging people like $5 to change the haircut of their character, but they're also misleading fans with what they're purchasing in the $200 special edition package, and not offering refunds, and it's a disaster, really a disaster.
Well, I was thinking. I was like, I think we've split between video game experiences for the past like 10, 15 years. Yeah, we both played like Call of Duty, mainstream video games, uh, strategy games, weird games, but I th- I'm giving a chance to all the games like Destiny, the new Call of Duty, games that you wouldn't ever want to play. Well, you did give it a try, and I don't know. You did say it was pretty cool. You just haven't played a lot to this day, But
Yeah,
and who knows? You'll probably play or probably won't. It's up to you.
it's possible.
Yeah. Um. Well, the reason why I was saying that is because I'm gonna give Anthem a try. It's a new PlayStation 4 game where it's an open world. You were saying something about open worlds being hard to, find enjoyable for players and
Well, multiplayer games in general.
multiplayer. Oh, the whole
Uh,
aspect of multiplayer.
lots of studios make good open world games, or at least playable, enjoyable. But it's the moment that you try to incorporate multiplayer experience.
To open world. Sorry, you cut off a little bit.
Yeah, like an MMO, for example. The moment you try to incorporate open world and RPG with multiplayer, then you start going into the MMO direction.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, it always just goes down in a garbage fire.
No,
I mean, name one MMO that doesn't just completely implode.
no, I actually would agree, but and I'm not like defending Anthem or something, but Anthem isn't MMO, so I'm actually excited to play it because it is.
It's just single player?
No, it's multiplayer, open world, but it's not an MMO.
So, what?
It's like a Destiny game.
Destiny's an MMO, though.
Well,
Is it not?
it's not. I don't think it's considered an MMO. It's a open world multiplayer. I'd say that, but it not like the whole trends and the whole typical labels to put on, I think, are changing because they advertise it in just by saying open world multiplayer game rather than MMO, because it doesn't follow the traditional like MMO turn based and like CD thing. But it's not a big deal. It's just, if you want to call it an MMO, you could probably call it an MMO. You know?
I'll call it whatever I want to call
Exactly.
it.
God damn it. But yeah.
I'm so scared about Classic. I'm sorry. We always talk about this.
No, actually, Classic was on my mind. I don't know why. I woke up. I don't remember if it was a nightmare or not. So,
no more runs.
Classic.
Please, God.
No more dead mines.
Yeah. Dead mines for the 37th time today.
But
Ooh.
like realizing, I try to not hold opinions on too many things because
yeah, it's best not to think about stuff.
Yeah.
I agree.
Just because, like, if I say something stupid, it's gonna haunt me regardless.
Every single day.
Right? And who knows when the viewers are gonna get a chance to hear me redeem myself or not. So
probably never.
Disclaimer. But one thing I haven't said is I think Classic is gonna be a complete different game now because just because of the talent trees, and that just because of that one facet, it's going to be a huge change and it's going to be a complete different game, and I think I'm going to enjoy it as a complete new experience.
Yeah, that's actually a really interesting point.
Mm-hmm.
That it's going to be a new experience.
Thank you.
Well, I hadn't thought about it that way, but you're absolutely right, because just if for nothing else, it's just been so fucking long.
Yeah.
And current WoW is a completely different game. I mean, it's different in almost every single respect.
Mm-hmm.
And so it really will be a fresh experience.
And when you guys ask me about how the game has been since like you guys played it, I can't you notice I can't even describe the game because it changes every expansion.
Yeah.
It's like you're asking me about a
Yeah.
new like in my head you're talking to me about a complete new game and I'm like, all right, they still think that we're talking about the same game, but it's not the same game.
Yeah, 100%.
And
And releasing the end patch talents and abilities on the very first day, which is what they said they're going to do,
mhm.
is going to be a very strange experience as well.
If I'm not mistaken, they added battleground experience in the
Right.
later expansion, later patches.
They did. They did. That's remember the South Shore PvP?
Yeah.
That's what that was, because they didn't have battlegrounds.
And that feels like and you always ask me, am I ready for classic? That patch feels like yesterday. Like I'm still getting used to going to battlegrounds and getting experience and sometimes forgetting about it. And
I kind of understand what you're saying.
mhm. No, but literally, it's like, damn, I can go to battlegrounds and get experience.
I think you also did a lot fewer battlegrounds than I did. It took me a long time to get used to queuing up for the battleground at the major city.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to get used to that because you used to have to run to the place. So, since my favorite battleground was Arathi Basin, I had all my characters in Arathi Highland. Because you had to actually go to the instance to get into the battleground. Back in the day.
Yeah, you logged in that one time and you flew all the way over there, and I was like, "Where are you going?"
Yeah, and then run the last way. Like you basically end up having to run from like, what is it, Loch Madan or something like that, or wetlands?
Yeah, and you go
all the way there.
You go up to the to it's not South Shore, is it? No.
Yeah, I think it might be South Shore. You run east from South Shore to Arathi Highlands, I think. And Arathi Highlands is what, like level 30, 40 territory?
Yeah, I think so.
And I'm in there with my level 29 twink, just trying to get to the fucking entrance.
Well, see...
So I got sorry, a little non sequitur here. I got a new chair today from my boss, because I told her my old chair was broken. And she actually gave me a fucking incredibly nice chair. I can't fucking believe how nice it is. But I'm still like getting used to it. So like I'm changing positions every couple of seconds here, like trying to find what my comfortable position is in this new chair. It's a new experience, Arman. Anyway, go on.
Is it a lounging chair?
It is that. It's like a big leather like desk chair
With like four legs, and it like reclines and spins around.
It has like the center pillar going down, and then 5 flanges with little like wheels,
like an office chair.
Yeah, but big leather back on it, and it reclines just a little bit. You know, maybe like a 30-degree recline on it. You know, approaching 40.
30?
Oh yeah, I'm getting crazy.
And leather? Woo! No, that's good. Those things are comfortable. It's better than a wooden chair.
Nice.
Hint, hint, hint.
Well, fucking dude, I've been sitting on a broken chair for like 3 or 4 months now.
You, as a friend, off topic, but to classic, you do complain about little things a lot, but it doesn't bother me because you deal with it for such a long time that I'm like, oh, he has to vent to me. Okay.
I'm gonna complain so much in classic. Well, this is goddamn bullshit.
Let's just make hunters or and just
make the easiest
yeah.
thing we can. Let's just make hunters and get glider, and let's just not play at all.
Yeah. Man.
Okay, let me ask you this:
Mm.
what does Blizzard have to do to ruin Classic for you?
They already attempted to do that, and that's
What's like your bottom line where you log into Classic and you realize that Blizzard's done this one thing and you're like, nope, it's over for me, and you cancel your subscription?
I have done that when they nerfed my class that I enjoyed playing. It was the Warriors, and they made
But
Arms better than Fury, and Fury was my spec at the time. And
Warriors shouldn't do any damage. That's my opinion, and they shouldn't do any healing. They should just be meat shields.
I mean, they practically are, but with the amount of bursts that other classes have, the healing is almost not noticeable. If the warrior is good enough and does things anyway, I think that is probably one time I did quit WoW, and it was because of that.
Okay, so give me something that Blizzard, the one thing with Blizzard that would have to do for Classic to fuck it up for you.
Oh yeah, Classic.
Like the change that they would have to make to the Classic experience that we're expecting in order for you to not want to play.
Besides the obvious, where
you can state the obvious if you like.
Something stupid like the talents are the new talents instead of the old talents. I would.
Yeah, if it's like BFA talents.
Yeah, if it's BFA talents.
Oh yeah, of course that's unplayable.
I would. I don't know, man. I don't know how bad and how fast I would tell you. No, I'm not playing Classic. But pretty.
Yeah, I would never buy. I'd never play in the first place. For me, it would have to be if they fucked over Twinking or the economy. And so, for me, if they allowed for XP in Battlegrounds and then had it so that you could turn off your XP, and then people who turn off their XP are separated from everyone else, like they did, that would make the game unplayable for me. And if they allow WoW tokens in the game, that makes the game unplayable for me because that destroys the economy.
Well, hopefully they don't have that. Weird thing I want to talk about. I think I've dodged playing the classes that Blizzard intended to be easier. You know how they had favorites like Warlocks and Hunters.
Yeah, fucking Warlocks.
It was probably not their like quote unquote favorite class, and that they intended to be easier, but it was easier because it was like a MMO aspect and gameplay where it was easier to have a pet that was always on the target. You know, that shit's always annoying.
Yeah, and dot spells, instant cast dot spells.
Yeah, like hindsight, we should have probably played Hunters and stuck with them completely and enjoyed the ride, and it would have been so much easier.
Nah, because I wouldn't enjoy the ride. I had a Hunter and I couldn't play him.
Why not?
It wasn't fun.
Fair enough.
Getting to the that you're in the BFA mindset, Arman. Okay, your mind has been polluted by the propaganda of a modern
all
WoW,
the convenience
right?
and the shit they shoved into us, which
yeah, in your mind, the destination is the only thing that's important. You have to go into the classic mindset where the journey is the important part, not the destination.
Well,
fucking Buddhism or some shit.
Yeah, maybe that's just the druid in me. The druid,
yeah, he's a real piece of shit.
I probably still would play druid, but to get like I almost feel like I didn't get an authentic World of Warcraft experience because I tried to play other classes, and I played so many different classes at different times instead of like other people playing all the classes at the same time, so they know what they're talking about.
No, that's not. No, no, no. That's not the experience. When you say like the authentic experience, I consider the authentic experience playing one class and playing that class 85-90% of the time. And becoming a literal expert in that class. When I was playing Classic and BC, I knew the mage, Frost Mage, so well that I could tell you the ability or spell order of every class that I would play against and what their disciplines were. So, like, if I knew that I was fighting a Demonology Warlock or an Enhancement Shaman or a Retribution Paladin or... No matter what I was fighting, I knew exactly what they were going to do. I knew exactly what I could do. I knew everything. I knew everything about my class. I knew everything about every other class so that I could play my class better. I think that's the more authentic experience because Classic WoW necessitated that.
Well, I guess, and thankfully, I think you got a complete different experience out of WoW than I did.
I think it's because you always try to make new characters.
Yeah. I think I was min-maxing in a way, or as far as like comparison.
I think you weren't min-maxing. I think that's your problem. You know, you're out there creating 5 characters. You're trying to level 5 characters at once, whereas I'm leveling 1.
Yeah, I was more looking for the feel.
Look at the time when your druid fell away from my mage was in TBC, where we hit 70 and then you just went and started playing on your ults and I geared my mage.
What did I level?
And then, I don't know, you had a fucking rogue and all sorts of other bullshit. All these characters that you were never serious about playing. And then when you'd come back to your druid, every time you would come back to your druid, my mage would be better and better and better, and eventually it got to a point where you couldn't beat me. You couldn't even get close.
Yeah, no, I agree. I did fall off but I didn't make a high level character to replace the druid until like level 80, and that was far.
Yeah.
That was far enough time to play with the druid and mage.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, you never geared the druid, so you never really saw what it could do in the end.
Yeah, that I will have to agree. He was never. I don't think he ever hit the max level in any of the expansions.
Yeah, you did. You got to 70 when I was at 70.
Yeah.
But you were wearing like all quest greens and garbage. You're like, I think some of your item slots were like empty. I was wearing full epics. And so I would smash you every single time we dueled.
I gotta redeem myself in Classic.
Yeah, man, you gotta get your fucking thumb out of your ass.
Damn. No, you're right. What was I doing? I guess I
You were leveling ults. You were wasting all your time on ults because leveling was so fucking slow back then.
Well, why didn't we PvP together or something, or?
Oh, because I don't think you could make group battlegrounds back then. I can't remember though.
Okay.
And I never had any interest in arena, but we could try doing that this time. I'd be interested in doing that.
Arena.
Do like druid mage arena.
Druid mage.
Or whatever you're gonna make.
I don't know shit about arena, if that's even a comp.
I don't know either. I always hated arena, and now that I give it 1 second of thought, I probably won't do any arena. Just test my mic. Because it's so min-maxy, it's so cheesy, and it's so there's like a playbook to every arena battle, and like you have to memorize it, sort of, and that's what I hate about it. I feel like it takes away the spirit of battle. That's why I like Battlegrounds, because in something like a Wrathy Basin, when you're running from base to base, it's an experience. Each new base you get there, you don't know how many enemies are going to be there. You don't know what the composition is going to be. You don't know what their skill level or their gear is going to be. Mm-hmm. It's a totally random experience every time.
Well, I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic on in the context of I think I'm not telling you have to or you should. I think we actually might actually have time to do arena just because we're gonna feel comfortable playing the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I'm planning on coming home and winning the lottery so that I have plenty of free time. Man, it's my greatest regret in life is not becoming a billionaire before Classic WoW releases, and I'll have to work and play.
I thought Classic was going to come out a lot later.
I hoped it did, honestly. Give me one more year, Blizzard. I don't mind waiting another year. Just give me one more year.
But as far as classes, I know I've been flip-flopping. I might make a rogue with your mage.
Yeah, you're so flippy-floppy.
Because druid, what is it? Balanced druid and mage? That I could do.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
And yeah, things like that. It's just when you say you're gonna twink it at certain places.
Oh no, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay,
that's just... I'm gonna level brutally slowly because I'm gonna be doing 99% of my time is gonna go into battlegrounds. Mm-hmm. Because that's what I enjoy. So, like, I'm going to level. So, when I get to a new bracket, let's say in the, 30 bracket. When I get to a new bracket, I'm going to level from, 30 to 36, 37. And then I'm going to hang out for an extortionate amount of time. You know.
Well, that's...
Because I'm going to be PvPing once I'm at the high end of the bracket.
No, that shit's fun. That shit's great. I'll do the same thing. But one thing that I thought of... Are they going to have this a feature in Classic where it is in the live content right now? If you're level 30, your bracket is from 30 to 39, right?
Yeah, that's what it was back in the day. Is that current still?
No. It is current, but when you queue as 30, usually you wouldn't, right? Because you're going to be queued with 39, right? Mm-hmm. They scaled it. So your character is actually 39 instead of 30. Just
yeah, I actually do remember that. I remember that from current. Yeah, that's why I don't fucking battleground current. I remember that now. You just fucking your brain exploded me. Yeah. If that happens, that breaks the game for me. I won't play.
Okay. Shit.
Yeah. 100%.
Well, it's not that bad of a concept.
No, fuck yourself. Fuck yourself.
It's just a level.
Get out of my face with this communist bullshit.
It's just
everyone has to be the same
level.
Fuck you.
Obviously, everyone's gonna be the same level.
I don't care. If you want PvP, you fucking level up to the top of the bracket.
I'm not supporting. Right? I'm not supporting the feature or anything. I'm just talking about how it wouldn't.
It's disgusting.
It wouldn't. I want to hear your opinion. I don't know. I don't know what your opinion is actually.
It's the most disgusting thing in the fucking world. It's as bad as getting XP in Battlegrounds and XP locking and then being separated from the rest of the community. It's as bad as that. Because it's as bad as being able to just fucking LFG your way into mythics and shit. Mm-hmm. It's the exact same content. You're removing the separation between players. And the separation between players... is the only fucking reason to play. The only reason to play Battlegrounds is to show that I'm better than the other people. But if Blizzard just steps in and arbitrarily fucking levels the playing field, and this is the most arbitrary leveling ever. It's just because the people queuing at 30 somehow feel like they're entitled to play with a level 39 character is fucking outrageous.
Well, okay, fair enough. I agree. I 100%, and my opinion is I agree with you, but it doesn't have to be communism or socialist uh, ideologies that
Well,
support it.
that's straight up what it is, though. Like that's fucking go on BFA right now and go into trade chat and just type "fuck this communist bullshit," and you'll have 100 people agreeing with you.
Well,
They don't need to explain their position. They understand what they're talking about. What it is they're trying to level the playing field, and they're leveling the playing field by bringing everyone down to the same level of meaninglessness.
well, okay. Let's think about it. Uh, what about like what instantly comes to my mind? What about the fact that I'm just playing devil's advocate, I guess.
Okay.
Um, what if what about the fact that someone isn't gonna queue at level 30 at all because he knows,
Good.
yeah, that's fine. So who cares about them? You're still gonna play people that are level 39. So if they have that feature, it just
Yeah.
helps people that aren't good at the game.
Yeah, fuck those people. They should get good.
All right.
Or they should have a bad experience. They should put in the effort to get good at the game, or they should have a bad experience and they fucking deserve the bad experience.
For me,
And I remember we had a very even spread at every bracket. People would join the brackets at any level, and it was accepted that you'd have an even spread on both sides, and generally it evened out. And there wasn't such a huge gap between a 39 and a 30. Two 30s can take a 39.
okay.
No problem.
Well, it is a game, and
But like a 39 twink could take two 30s.
yeah,
Easily. Dude, my 29 warrior would one shot level 20s. With a crit. It was beautiful.
anyway, this is bringing the competitive side of me saying, like, agreeing with you that they should have little, you know, easy people to kill. But whatever. Let's change the topic.
Well, I like having the spread in the battleground. You know, if you have 15 people in the battleground, I like the idea of each side having one twink, then each side having half a dozen people who are on the high end of the bracket, and then each side having 5 or 10 people who are just randomly spread from the low end of the bracket to the medium end of the bracket. And that's how it usually felt. It was very rare to have more than one twink on either side. It was very rare to have one side that was mostly high-end bracket. Very rare.
Maybe because I play devil's advocate a lot, and what do you think about the fact, and you're probably going to be like, same shit, it's the same concept. Do you think Blizzard's doing a good job just business wise in their business model if they keep that 30 to 39 level boost, and then the fact that they have that playing field for so and so experienced players, and then there's a separate one being something like the Grand Marshal experience where people had to level up past a certain amount to get better gear, just like Merciless Gladiator and stuff like that, where they put it where Blizzard puts it in a different category for people to experience in a different bracket, but in PvP, in a
What the fuck is your question?
like, so there's that 30 to 39 playing field.
Yeah, the battleground brackets.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the gear that you can get from being better than everybody, right?
Theoretically.
Theoretically, do you think they did a good job for the people that were competitive?
Okay, so I've always been disappointed by the idea that you can get better gear from Arena, because I don't think that Arena is necessarily a very good display of skill.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Arena, a lot of the time, is a display of determination and knowledge, but not necessarily skill. Whereas Battlegrounds are, because it's a much more randomized experience, you have to be so much more versatile with what you can do, and you're not relying on anybody. You're not forging this pre-calculated team where you're not min-maxing so much.
Yeah.
But if you're really good, you can achieve so much more. There are battlegrounds where my mage has taken on 5 or 6 horde at the same time and beaten them like staggered. Where it's a way more epic experience than the Arena, and I think it's a more true display of skill. So the better PvP gear has always been locked behind Arena rankings, which has upset me, but I don't mind that much. I play a mage, so it's not that gear dependent. I can still kill people even if I'm wearing shit gear.
Yeah. I think that's where I lack the PvP experience, because I forgot about that. It's while asking the question, it was like I've totally forgot that it's just Arena. It's usually not Battleground experience that gets you better gear. So I guess I would probably say Blizzard failed to make it even. No.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be even. I would be happy if it was just different. Like, I would be happy if the gear you get from Battlegrounds makes you a more versatile player, because you need to be more versatile in Battlegrounds. Whereas I'd be happy if the gear in Arena made you more focused, because you need to be more focused. Unfortunately, the gear for Battlegrounds, the PvP gear, was just a straight up currency exchange. It didn't require any display of skill. Like, you just pay honor and marks and you get your shit. And that's it. Whereas the Gladiator stuff was locked behind Arena ratings, which meant that you actually had to achieve something. So I would like it if the general PvP gear, the stuff that you get, primarily from doing Battlegrounds, I wish that it had some other requirements, getting certain amounts of kills, honor kills, doing certain amounts of Battlegrounds. At a certain level, it should require
certain achievements.
Yeah. And I'm tempted to say that part of that achievement should be a grind. Like I had like 75,000 kills on my mage. It shouldn't be that extreme, but it should be, approaching that level.
Yeah.
Because this is before transmogs, and so when I'm walking around in full epic PvP gear, this was in TBC, I want people to know when they see me, that guy has dedicated the vast majority of his time in this game to just PvPing.
Yeah. I could agree. Yeah.
They need more separation in the game, and that's what Classic needs to bring back. They need to make a very hard and fast, and in many cases very brutal, separation between dedicated and skilled and knowledgeable players and the fucking dregs who play casually for 30 minutes once a week. If you play casually 30 minutes once a week, you shouldn't be able to achieve fucking anything. That's the way the game should run. That's the only way that players like us who are willing to play all day, every day, are ever going to feel like our time is not wasted.
Yeah. I'd like to continue this for the next podcast. Actually,
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, we're at 40 minutes. It's an exceptionally long podcast. Thank you, everyone, for watching, for listening. Whatever. It's been another bullshit video games. Brian Arman.
See ya.
Bye-bye.